Hey gorgeous, welcome back to Life in Style. Today's video is going to be another haul video. I try to save a lot of items that I order, for like several weeks and then do a collective haul. I think it's easier to do it that way because they may be a little longer, but then you're not getting like, 16 3-minute videos of haul, things that I've purchased and that sort of thing. So I have a haul here of things that I've purchased from different places. I have some Kiko Milano stuff, Wet n Wild stuff, some Essence stuff. And so I'm just excited to show you what I have purchased over the last several weeks. Per usual, and the way I do with these videos is that I will put a lot of these products on my face. So I have used the eyeshadows, the eyeliner, eyeshadow primer, and some other stuff. So as I'm going through these products, I will give you my quick first impressions of anything that I've used for the first time. There are a couple of things that I've used several times, so I will go through that as we're going through the products. So the first thing that I'm going to put in, because it's in front of me, is a Physicians Formula eyeshadow quad. This came out actually some time ago, basically kind of looking like vintage. So this eyeshadow quad I had found on a whim at a Rite Aid near my house. This one is called Smoky Plums, and that is what it looks like. It is what I am wearing under my eyes today, in addition to some other things that I'll talk about. I have used this twice already before today. As I was getting ready for work, I decided to dip into this palette quickly, only because there are 4 shadows. I did have to get a highlight shade from another palette, but I had one, readily available, and also a shade to just set down my primer because this brown shade right here is still a little too dark. Overall, I'm quite pleased with the quality of this palette. The shadows blend out really nicely. The look that I had done the 2 days for work had lasted very well throughout the day. It didn't show any signs of like pilling or getting oily on my lids or anything like that. So overall, I am pleased with this palette. If they still have these online, I will link it down below. Like I said, I just found it by chance at a Rite Aid that I had gone into, but I haven't seen this collection anywhere else after they had announced it many months ago. Again, it's just kind of made to look like vintage, but I've never seen them out in any store except for that one time. So the next thing I have, also because it's like a one-off, is a concealer that I purchased from Avon. It's called the Avon True Color Ideal Nude Cream Concealer. It is what I am wearing today. This is the first time I have ever used this concealer. It has a regular doe foot applicator. I have the shade Medium Deep, which still isn't really that deep to me, but it works fine for under my eyes. I will say it's almost like a drier formula when you're putting it under your eyes. It doesn't feel, it looks creamy on the applicator, but when you're applying it, it's not this kind of thick, watery type of consistency. It almost feels like a very lightweight type of consistency. But once I used my beauty blender to blend it out, it was fine. I felt it worked fine, and I'll see throughout the day if it's going to settle into my lines or anything like that. I always set my concealer with powder, but just to use it that first time, I thought it went on well. There are some concealers that I've used one time and just look really thick and heavy under the eyes, but this didn't look like that. So I am hoping that it works throughout this day because I will be wearing this makeup several hours today. So I'm hoping that it works under my eyes. The next item I purchased, I got from Nordstrom, and I had been looking for this item forever at TJ Maxx and Marshalls and that sort of thing because I saw it on Instagram everywhere. It's the Aurora Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is still on sale. It's not like they're discontinuing it. It's still on sale on her website and other places. I'm not sure if it's on sale, like the price is lower now on her website, but I know that you could have gotten this, I want to say, for like $20 at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I got it for $20 at Nordstrom. I think most people have seen what this looks like. I have been wanting this for so long, and as soon as one of my friends told me it was on sale, I went right online and purchased it. This shade and this shade I mixed to put in the inner corner of my eyes. I am wearing a different highlighter on my face, which we'll talk about, but I do like her glow kits very much. And I have the first one that came out like this that was kind of like those ethereal, mermaid unicorn colors, which is the Moonchild, and then I have this one. I had one of her original ones, but I gave that away to my sister, so I only have these two now. The next two things I purchased were eyeshadow palettes from shophush.com. I did do a video before with the Venus palette, the original one from Lime Crime, and then also the dupe palette from shophush.com. So I will link that down below in case you're interested in seeing that. I'm going to do the same with these two palettes, only because I want to offer you know, an alternative to certain things. There are many palettes that are sold out that were limited edition that are duped, and some that are still out, but are not great quality. So the first one I purchased is from the Bad Habit company. It's called the After Hours palette, and this is the dupe for the small mauve palette that Huda Beauty put out. So that's what the cover looks like, which it's really pretty, really sturdy. This is actually bigger than the Huda Beauty palette, because those are very small, much smaller than this. It has a nice mirror, and then those are the colors. So as you can see, you know, even though I'm holding it upside down, it's a pretty close dupe to it just looking at it without looking at the other palette. So like I said, I am going to do a video with this as well, and with the second palette that I'm going to show you. But these colors are right up my alley, and it's not something that I'm going to get rid of after I do the dupe video. I like the Huda Beauty one very much, and I like those shadows, you know, the colors once I put a look together. So if this proves to be as good or better, it's definitely going to stay in my collection. The second one I got, also by Bad Habit, is Retro Love. This is the dupe for the Anastasia Subculture palette. I do have the Subculture palette, and I don't believe I've done a video with that. I had been trying to do like a dupe video way back at the beginning, you know, a get ready with me, but unfortunately my palette is not good, and that's like, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. It was just really, really bad, and just the same old complaints that most people had. Too much kick up, not enough, you know, the blendability was absolutely awful. And I know that when this came out, a lot of people were comparing the Subculture palette to the Retro Love palette. So it looks like this. It's definitely a little thinner vertically than the Subculture palette. You have a mirror there, and then you have the colors there. So basically, again, just looking at the colors without looking at the other one, pretty much a straight dupe for it. I am going to do a video with both of these just to compare them, again, because this is readily available. It is sold out sometimes because I think it is one of their most popular palettes, but if it's one of those things where you've had the Subculture and had to return it or tossed it or gave it away, or don't care to you know, take a chance on purchasing it, this may be a really good alternative. So make sure you keep your eyes out for those two videos. The next few items I purchased from Essence, and this was an online order that I placed. They came out with new Pure Nude highlighters, so very excited about that. I purchased two. The first one is called the Pure Nude Space Lighter, which you could see is very, very white. But I think a lot of these are basically almost like duochromes, because when I put it on my hand, and I'm hoping you can kind of catch that, it comes off a little more pink, and as you shift it, you know, like the color changes as it's, you know, as you kind of like shift your hand and that sort of thing. So that's Space Lighter. And then the second one I have is Cosmo Lighter, which is almost more greenish, yellowish in tone if you're looking at both of them. I'm not sure how well you can pick that up on camera. Excuse me, but I'm going to swatch this right next to there, and you can definitely see the difference between the pink, which is Space Lighter, and then Cosmo Lighter is this one here, which kind of has that green shift. So these are just really fun highlighters, and the original Pure Nude highlighter is of such great quality that I definitely wanted to pick some more up, even if it's not something I use constantly because just of the shade range there. A lot of people don't want a green stripe of highlighter on their face, but I could use it on my eyes, inner corner, or just in a really cool type of look. So these were definitely items that I wanted just because the quality of the original one was just absolutely amazing. And they're $4.99. I mean, you just can't beat that price. The next thing I purchased is actually a repurchase. You guys have seen this constantly on my channel. It is the Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow base. It is far and away my favorite eyeshadow primer of any brand that I have personally tried, high-end or drugstore. This thing is $3.49. And I absolutely love it. It is what I have used on my eyes today before I went ahead and put eyeshadow on them. But for me, it is a very close dupe for the MAC paint pot that I have in Painterly, because what this does is it acts like a concealer on the eyes. So I find that it's very good with basically canceling out any redness or any discoloration that I may have on my eyes, so that it turns my eyelid one shade. And when I'm putting my eyeshadow colors on there, the like undertone of any, you know, veining or anything is not coming through the colors. So this pretty much just gives me a nice even base to put the shadows on, and I love this thing. The last item I got from Essence, because if you've watched a lot of videos here on my channel, you know that I'm always on the lookout for a very good eyeliner pencils, just daily pencils in black, because that's what I normally use. Today I did use a gel liner, but I don't tend to use gel liners every single day. So this one is the Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil. It says it's waterproof and it lasts up to 16 hours. It's in Black Love, just a regular gel black eyeliner pencil. Like I said, I'm always on the hunt for a really good one that's not going to start like, you know, going down and smudging down into my lower lash line as the day progresses, because I find that that's one of the worst things that I can find about an eyeliner pencil, is that as the hours progress, I've got like a big ass smudge of black down here, which doesn't look good on anybody. So I'm always trying out new eyeliner pencils. So I have high hopes for that pencil. The next three things I got were from the new Wet n Wild collection, which I can't think of what it is over, you know, like right off the top of my head. I did actually order 4 products. These are 3 of the eyeshadow palettes, and then one of the blushes. I didn't order the very, very bright pink only because I wanted something a little more subtle. I didn't even bring it out here to show, only because I probably am not going to keep it. It is more like a highlighter. It is an extremely shimmery peachy blush. I do not like shimmery blushes. I like matte blushes. I will highlight if I need a little shimmer. And B, I do not like peach blushes. And I tried it on my skin, and all it did was look almost like I put just highlighter completely on my cheeks, and it just like showed texture. It did not look good. So I'm probably gonna pass that along to somebody else. The first palette I got was Hasta La Costa Baby, which is this one right here. Definitely colors right up my alley. I used the purple one here just to start doing the the bottom of my eyes. When I did that, I started out with that one. And then I also used the Brow Bone shade 4, highlighting the brow bone today, because as you saw in the Physicians Formula palette, there was no highlighter shade. I own a lot of these palettes, and I do like the quality very much. So to be honest, I wasn't expecting anything less than really good quality, and I like the way those performed so far. The next one I have is Stop Ruffling My Feathers. This one is more of kind of a pinky peachy type of collection there, but again, very pretty. You got a couple of shimmers, and the transition is the matte shade there. And then the last palette I purchased is Flock Party, and this is what it looks like. Of course, I am absolutely loving that paint. Can't wait to use that. And I love how they tell you what everything is. So you've got your crease color, brow bone color transition, and your eyelid color. I mean, you can mix and match them, of course, as you want to change your look around, but I love how they do that, so that if you want to create a look how they have it, you can absolutely do that, and it's going to be very cohesive. So again, I've used a couple of those shades today, but I have high hopes for those palettes, and from what I've seen, I think they've gotten pretty nice reviews overall. Wet n Wild is a solid brand, so it's not like I'm expecting them to be duds. The last several items here I purchased from Kiko Milano, and this was an order I placed online. I did actually find out from the website that we had several stores here in Connecticut, which I didn't know, but they've all since been closed. How long they've been closed, I have absolutely no idea, because when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I will definitely take a ride to the store and check it out, because I do have several Kiko Milano products and I love them. But alas, they're closed, so I had to do this online. So the first thing is another eyeliner pencil. This one is called Into the Dark, and it is in just their regular black. I have used this several times, and I do like it very much. It is a pencil that will last several hours. Smudges just a bit, but not horrendously so, but doesn't like you know, start like crumbling after several hours or coming apart or anything like that. So it is a pencil that I will continue to use. But again, I'm always on the hunt for a good everyday black pencil. The next two items I purchased were two of their water eyeshadows. These specific shades were on sale. They're shades that are right up my alley, so I purchased them. I know that the number 200, which I believe is a gold eyeshadow, is the color on like everybody's lips. That shade I know is used for eyeshadow, but most people use it for a gold highlighter. And once people started talking about it, every time I went, it was always sold out. But again, these two were on sale. This one is number 223. So let me open this one for you. Their packaging on their individual eyeshadows is very beautiful. I love how sleek and clean it is. And then when you open it, it almost looks like one of the I want to say the NARS single shadows. I forget what the name is, but they actually do bring a little mirror here and then the color there. I used the purple today all over my lid, and I can tell you that I absolutely loved and appreciated how saturated the color was, where I built it up just a bit, but I really didn't have to if I didn't want to. It completely covered my lid. Sometimes when you get into shadows where you want to put over your lid, but they're not necessarily shimmery shades, I find personally that they can be a little difficult to work with right on the lid or on my lid. It may be my skin, I'm not really sure. When I put this shade on my lid, it completely covered the eyelid without an issue, and I just blended it out after that. And I liked very much the way the color and the shade basically blended out and got, you know, like got on my eyelid. It just covered it completely. So that one is 223, which is the purple. Of course, you know, that's right up my alley. And then the second one I have is 225. And this color is a gorgeous blue, as you can see there. So I really can't wait to use this one either, because this blue is not necessarily like a navy blue, but it's one of those almost like oceanic blues. So I'm just really, really interested in how this is going to look on my eyes. I have actually watched a few videos of people talking about these single Kiko Milano shadows, and the reviews overall have been very positive and good. These shadows too, you can use them both dry or wet. Today I used the purple only dry, but I am interested to see how it's going to look on the eyes using some Fix Plus or something else to make the look wet. And then the last item I purchased, this again is from Kiko Milano, is the Gold Waves highlighter. This is actually a new product. And I will link everything down below. I can't remember what I paid for it, but packaging is on point. I'm going to hold it like this because it is extremely reflective, but absolutely gorgeous all around. So, so beautiful. And that is the highlighter that I am wearing on my cheeks today. I like the way it is, and I found that it was nice, right? You know, just dipping your brush in there once or building it up a little bit, and I really like the way it felt on the skin and the way it blended out on the skin. So that is what it looks like there. You do get a mirror as well in the compact. It smells like, oh, I don't know, I want to say like an old-fashioned gum. I know that sounds so weird, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind when I smell it. I personally like the smell. It is not heavily fragrant, so it's not a thing that, you know, you're going to put on your cheeks and you're going to smell it. You smell it out of the pan, and as you're applying it, probably out of the pan, but not on your face. So if you don't like fragrance, this is not a product that is going to have that lingering fragrance to kind of make you go crazy throughout the day with it. So that's going to do it for this haul today. I hope it is something that you enjoyed. I will be using these products throughout upcoming videos, but if there's something specific you want to see, you know, first rather than something else, just let me know in the description bar below. But like I said, definitely look up for the two videos using the Retro Love palette and also the After Hours palette from shophush.com. I do own the Huda Beauty Mauve palette, and I do own the Anastasia Subculture palette, so I will be doing comparison videos with both of those, so those will be coming your way. Thanks so much for spending a few moments of your day with me. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, click that little bell so you get alerted as to whenever I upload new videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.